Hello, hello, hello. Is this thing on? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Once again, live on Saturday night. It's Bose 831 Gaming going live on Twitch. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in on another wonderful Saturday night. I hope you're all doing well and wherever you're at in your region of the world. I hope you're all being safe here in the U.S., in the Southeast, especially starting in the state that is my home state of Florida. We've been affected by some weather events, not specifically per se my area in particular, but it did affect my state, and the entire region was under a watch earlier this week as Hurricane Ian rolled through parts of the state, and it's now threatening some other areas in the East Coast. I think it's up by the Carolinas at the last time I saw any updates on it. But just hoping everyone is safe, and prayers and thoughts and prayers for those that are affected by this event, and just hoping that you and your loved ones are all safe no matter what your situation may be concerning Hurricane Ian. And just want to again welcome you to my channel, welcome you to my stream, and let's go and just hop right into it. Once again, we're on Farming Simulator 22. We're on the ELM Creek farm, and this is a continuation of my live stream series on that map. And we're just kind of jumping right in a little bit from where we left off on the last episode. We were in the process of baling our grass field, and we're just going to jump right into that. And we also had off camera, I also went ahead and got my roller out and set it to the grass roller setting, so that we can go ahead and prepare our grass field for the next harvest cycle. So that's why you see this right here. I have it already set up. I had started to do some of the work at the end of the last episode, but I wanted to save all of that content for the actual episode, so I made sure that I didn't continue to work some of these processes off camera, because I wanted the audience to be able to see some of that in action. All right, and we got our first load of bales, and we're bringing that over to our animal barns so that this bale can be worked into silage. We already have a collection of bales here, and I want to move these bales to the front. So first of all, we're going to unload what we have. We're going to go to operating position, and I want to temporarily unload these bales. So we're going to unload bales here, and I want to do reset and set the trailer back to operating position. And I want to come through and pick up the bales that are here and move them slightly forward, because I want these bales a little bit more out of the way and more forward, so I know which ones are already silage and which ones are still in the process of fermenting into silage. And we're going to also need to move these vehicles out of the way so that we can move these bales forward a little bit. Just kind of trying to clear some space here in the shed so that we can move all of the bales that are not fully fermented forward a little bit. It just make it easier for me to identify when I'm coming in here which ones are ready to go and which ones are still in the process of fermenting into silage. So we'll just go ahead and bring these bales up a little bit. And actually, I suppose I kind of came in there at the wrong angle, but we'll still get it figured out. So what we do here now, in fact, I'll just bring these all the way up to the front. And so we'll unload. We want to do unload bales. Okay. And I'm sorry, the camera's going to kind of jump around a little bit because we're underneath the shed. We want to do unload bales here. I guess we still didn't move these vehicles out far enough so they'll be completely out of the way. So let me bring these two pieces of equipment out a little bit further. Alright, and now we can hop back into Kubota M8 201. And we're going to set the trailer back, reset the trailer, set it to operating. Ah! My bad. That wasn't clear enough before I hit the button. That's my mistake. Alright, and we got that one little bell that does not want to cooperate, but we're going to get you. Alright, transporting position. Let's try this one more time. Alright, and we're going to bring these bells all the way forward. So about, and we're going to do unload bell. Unload bells here. And this time we'll make sure we're clear before we reset. Now we reset. And go back to operating position. Then transporting position. And again, the reason why we're going through all this trouble is because we have bales that are already fully fermented into silage, and these new bales that are presently right now just wrapped grass bales that need to ferment in the silage, and that process will take a few days. So what we don't want to do is mix up bales that are not fully fermented with the bales that are, because we'll still be coming here using the fully fermented bales with our animals, so we don't want to mix the two different sets of bales up. And it'll be all moot once these bales are fully fermented and we can mix them all up together. But in the interim, while they're not, we want to keep them separated. So we're just going to move this stack of bales here to the back. We'll move them to the back of the barn. About right there is fine. Now I want to do unload bales again. We just want to drop these bales off about right there and unload bales here, and there we go. That just makes the whole process a little bit more easier for me when I'm coming in here and I'm doing other work. I know which ones are and which ones aren't at a glance by just how they're set up. Of course, I still probably also do my manual checks, but this is all just helpful with that whole process. And we'll park the bale front loader here, and we'll park the tractor with pig feed over in the other section. And as we get more and more bales in here, all of this will become more understandable, but why I'm going through all these additional steps. Yeah, I think I discussed this on my last stream, but I've just been kind of bouncing around some thoughts on how long I'm going to run with this series. And what I'm thinking now is I will run this series until probably around the release of the last Farming Simulator 22 expansion pack for this year, which will also conclude the year one season pass content. I do find it a little bit interesting that Giant hasn't really made any announcements on the year 2 season pass, because they did let it be known that they're going to start going to this process with it having annual season pass content. But as of yet, we don't know what's in the season pass for year 2, and they haven't really hinted at anything, so we don't know what that is, and we are getting closer and closer to the end of the year, so you would think they would start to get some of that information out. But what I'm thinking I'll do is we'll take this series a little bit further. I think I was thinking tonight we may even try go ahead and get very much more into expanding the operations of the farm and purchasing a few more fields and just going ahead and ramping that up a little bit. That's it. Just so we can see, you can see me do a few more different things in this series before we end it and move on to another map. Alright, but we're going back to the grass field. We're going to pick up all the 6 remaining bales that we had here, and we're going to switch the trailer to transporting position. And we're also going to take these bales over to the animal sheds as well. And it's the same deal. We want to keep these bales separated from the others. So this group needs to go with the second group as well. So they need additional time in order to ferment in the silage right now to just wrapped grass bales. Since it's only 4 bales, we don't have to be that special with what we're doing with this group. We just want to make sure they're in a different area than the fully fermented bales. I'm just trying to get the trailer line up here a little bit better, so when I place them, they'll be a little bit more straighter looking. If I can. Okay. Alright, about right there is a good spot, so we're going to do unload bales. And we'll just move them over to the side. Unload bales here. Boom. There you go. So we're done picking up all the bales that we have at the present time. And so we won't need this bale trailer anymore. So we can go ahead and return that lease back to the shop. In fact, we could return the mowing equipment too, and the windrower, and the bale loader. And we can go ahead and bring this tractor, back to the main farm. Of course, after we perform maintenance on it. Because most of the time, every time you use your equipment, after you use it, you want to go ahead and do your maintenance on it as well to make sure it stays in its best shape. So most of the time you want to go do that right after you use equipment, at least after a few uses, so that the maintenance doesn't go down that far. So we'll just go ahead and roll into the shop real quick and get that routine maintenance taken care of. And the way the game works, it just doesn't try to be ultra realistic. If in real life the maintenance could be any kind of vehicle breakdowns or anything like that, or just actual random maintenance. Oil change, calibration, whatever that maintenance for that particular vehicle may entail. The game kind of simplifies it in just to one little maintenance bar that you see. That's a little wrench there, but in real life it kind of goes without saying, it could be other things, not just one thing in particular, but the maintenance just covers all of the different things that might be grouped into vehicle maintenance. Putting the motor oil in the vehicle, maintaining parts, replacing parts, all your general routine maintenance stuff. But really, I think the game kind of groups any kind of little vehicle repairs and maintenance into that one category. It just kind of simplifies it into one bar, obviously, for replayability, because while some players would want to go deep dive heavy into the whole maintenance side of things, others may not. And it's always, when you're designing games, you always have that, especially these type of games, you always have to have that little balance to satisfy all your different audiences. Because some people would enjoy farming simulator / mechanic simulator, while other people probably wouldn't appreciate that. So it's always a little bit of a delicacy, if you will, when it comes to game balancing. Alright, so we got that taken care of. Now we're going to hop on over to my Massey Ferguson 7726S. Like I said, we already brought the roller out, set it to the grassland roller setting, and we can just go ahead and turn the AI worker loose on that. But all he's going to do is run the grass roller over the grass field that we just harvested, and this resets the state of the field. And once the state of the field is reset, the grass will grow back automatically. But this only works if you roll right after you do your grass harvest. And this way you can keep the grass basically just automatically recycling without having to do any other field work activities. Just all you do is just harvest the grass, roll, rinse, repeat, and the grass will keep growing back. And even though the grass is part of the whole precision farming stuff, you want your precision farming won't give you any big negative hits as far as your scores go with your field for doing the process this way. In fact, it's kind of included in the calculations, if you will. You can see here now, these are my grass fields, and as long as you follow the cycle properly, your numbers should work themselves out. Although I'm not, let's see here. Let's see, a soil sampling number is out of whack right now, so I don't know why that is. I didn't even think the soil samples expired, but I guess so. That's my first time seeing that one, so I'm not exactly sure how I'd address that. Otherwise, your other numbers will be good. Yeah, I don't. I'll come back and take a look at that in a bit. I don't know if that soil sampling number will automatically reset at some point, because I've never, the few times that I've been doing this, I've never seen it do that before. So we'll just keep an eye on that. I'm a bit confused by that at the moment. But anyway, the workers are going to roll this field with the grassland roller, and that should reset the state of the field, and the grass will reset the state of the grass from harvested to growing. And we'll just keep it, like I said, we'll just keep an eye on the, oops, what did I do? The other numbers as far as the environmental scores goes. Because again, I'm puzzled with why the soil sampling score has went to 0 there. Never seen it do that before, so just bear with me on that one. I'm completely lost, if you will. Alright, it looks like we have some reed control issues on 54 and 55, so I want to go take a look at those. Let's make sure there's not anything else I need to be worried about right now with any of my other fields. Field 40 has been driving me insane with the environmental score. I don't know why the nitrogen readings on that field just don't work like the way they're supposed to, because we've done everything correct on that field, but that nitrogen score will not reset. So I don't know what the issue is there as well. All I can say really is when it comes to precision farming, it's still has its issues. It's not perfect implementation of everything that goes along with it. Alright, saying weed medium, because if you notice, like it's showing the weed control at 100%. My nitrogen is zeroed out. When you go on the field, you can see it's saying nitrogen is good, and it's indicating that you have medium weeds on the field now, but you couldn't. So that makes no sense. the two reports don't match up at all. And it's issues like that that kind of influence some players to not even mess around with precision farming. I'm still trying to be patient and kind of work with it, but I still have some issues with the way that parts of it work. Parts of it are great. Having the bonuses to your sales and profits for the environmental score is actually, a cool thing. And it makes you want to work to make sure you do everything you can do to get maximize those bonuses. But at the same time, it can be a little bit frustrating when those bonuses don't work, or the things that you need to do to get those bonuses don't work the way that they're supposed to, as evidenced there. Alright, so we're watching this worker to make sure he finishes rolling my grass field. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map and see what else we can be looking at. I'm thinking now it's about time to go ahead, because my window is going to be real close. We're going to go ahead and purchase field 39, and I think I may also purchase field 36 and 37 and turn 39 into an oat field, which the AI has already done. And they have 36 and 37. They have 36 right now as is that corn, and 37 is cotton. Well, we'll go take a look while this guy's doing that. As a matter of fact, I don't have my little. Let's hop into the truck. I feel like running over there. Alright, so we're going to hop into the TLX 3500. Let's go for a short road trip and kind of do some exploring. Check out some of these other fields, because I think it's about time for us to go on a little bit of a shopping spree. Okay, so this is field 39. Now let's pull over to the side here and see what we got working with here. 39 is oat. But of course, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have to start. I can either take the field as is and just take the precision farming hits this first cycle, but then I need to redo this field myself so that I can get all my precision farming bonuses worked out, allegedly. So that means after this crop finishes growing and I do the first harvest, I'll need to basically reset the field by plowing it over and then putting the oat down myself and doing all the other stuff that goes along with it, so we can get it properly cycle through precision farming. In fact, I'll have to do that to both of my oat fields if I go ahead and purchase this one when that time comes, and hopefully that'll get the other field back on track too, so that the game will start recognizing it properly as well. So that's just some food for thought there. We want to go down and look at 36. Yeah, it has cotton on it, right? No, that's 38. Oops. We wanted to look at 36. Yeah, 36 has corn on it, but it needs to be stoned. And we're on day 1 in April, so we have time to reset the field if that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, let's see. And 37 has cotton on it as well, but we don't want to do cotton right now. If I'm going to mess around with cotton, then we will, I think, go ahead and do a cotton field. That needs to be one of the largest fields on the map that you do cotton on. Otherwise, you're kind of, in my humble opinion, wasting your time. Because cotton takes a lot of field to produce enough yield to make it worth your time. Now, we could do corn in these two fields, or I could just leave those to the AI and focus on some of the larger fields around here. Let's see this one. Let's see that field's 2.68 acres. This one's 3.88. That's 31 and 32 is 6. So it's all about how big do I want to go. But I think just for right now, in the interest of just keeping it kind of confined to one area of the map, and it will gradually spread all the way out, because we definitely want to hit, when I if I do decide to get into doing cotton, as we want to do that on 68 or either 70 or even 69, one of these big fields here. So alright, so our worker is done rolling the grass field. We can go ahead and do our equipment maintenance, because this grass field is reset and ready to go, so that means the grass is growing again. Oh, that was the other thing. I think we'll turn those two fields into grass fields as well, because we wanted to get more silage bales going. And we'll buy another field for our corn. Alright, let me think about that for a second. Let's go back to that map again. So if we do turn these two into grass fields, plus the one we already have, then we're gonna do oat here, and what will we do here? We'll do wheat here, maybe, and then we can either go this way when we expand, or this way, and then you got these fields to look at, which are the larger fields on the map. But again, I want to keep all of my operations confined to this part of the map right now. There's tons of other fields on the map, but these are quite a distance from the farm, and I'm not really looking to do anything with them per se. These fields here, also a little bit away from the farm, but I could end up looking at buying them, especially 57, actually 56 and 57, because those are larger fields. Just don't know if I'm ready to get into that yet. And of course these fields here, 33, 30, 30, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. Definitely can expand that way, but we are starting to get away from the farm when we go that direction. And as you can see, my little beehive explosion down here. Went a little crazy placing the beehives, but let's see if that comes back to be an issue for me later. Like I said, if it does become too much to handle, I can always deletes some of the beehives. Alright, so let's go to the shop, do a little routine vehicle maintenance. Just repair our equipment. Alright, and then just hop back in the tractor from there. And as you see, it's starting to get dark on us, so we're starting to run out of time today. So whatever we're thinking about doing today, we're gonna have to go ahead and get it knocked out very soon. Otherwise, we're gonna be working in the dark. Okay. So we're done there. Close the gate to the shed. We're done with the Massey for right now. I think we're done with what we're gonna get taken care of today. Just check a few things as far as our productions are concerned. Monitor all of that to make sure what we doing. We did want to move. Let's see, do we have anything else we want to move? Grain mill is getting low in wheat, the main primary grain mill. That's something we want to monitor. Oil mill is producing sunflower oil, so it's going through the sunflowers that we dropped off there earlier. We're doing okay. The dairy, how does the dairy doing on milk for the dairy, butter, cheese, and chocolate? Still pretty close to being full, so it's not a pressing concern yet. The greenhouses, we take care of them on a daily basis. Alright, line production's maxed out. That's something we might want to look at selling so we can make space for it, or we can just save that and just hold on to it for our farms. Well, since we're about to buy some fields, we're going to go through line in just a little bit here pretty quickly. Alright, and the wool production is suddenly not producing. Don't know what the issue is there. I'll have to look at that. Alright, and the BGA is ready to accept more slurry, so we can go ahead and drop that in so that more digestate methane and electrocharge can be produced, so we can kind of deal with that real quickly. Grapes are being produced and distributed. And honey is being produced and distributed. So the only other thing we might want to look at doing right now is we'll go ahead and take the TLX back to the home base, grab our tanker, and go move some slurry around. And I think that'll be about it for what we're going to do today. Since it's starting to get a little dark, we'll go ahead and turn the lights on. And as you can see in the background, some buildings, depending on the building, Got the lighting that comes on automatically, and I still love the effect with these greenhouses and this little colored lighting here. I still think really cool. So that mod is a very cool mod there. I really like those colors here on the lights. The only thing that would probably rock even more for me is if if there was an option for you to change the colors of the lighting. Okay, the sheep are there. They seem to be okay. Let me go to the animal menu. There's not anything on the screen that indicates there's an issue with the sheep. I don't know. Reproduction. Alright. We got this set of sheep that's showing reproduction at 0%, but I think that's just because they already just had a cycle where they produce some more baby sheep. Yeah, because you got this group that's 30 months, and that's only one. And what's the max that could be in the pen? Have we achieved the max? Yeah, we're at the 65, so I don't know if that's causing an issue. So just not quite sure what's happening there. And the game doesn't really give you enough information for you to definitively know what's going on all the time when there are issues. And wool is set to sell automatically. Could be it's just that time of the year when the sheep are not producing wool, so that's just a bottleneck. Alright. So again, we want to go ahead and grab the tanker trailer. We're going to go move some slurry around a little bit. We're going to take the little quick shortcut here. Making sure we don't run over any fields while we're doing that. Alright. So here we go. And we got our Max Superliner and the trailer. The tanker trailer. This package right here, if you're interested in where you can get it, it's on the in-game mod hub. This is another one, a great mod by 82 Studios. So now we need to just go grab some slurry. Okay, so we're loading slurry. load it up with as much as we can haul, take it over to the mini BGA, because I'm not exactly sure how many liters of what will it will hold. So we just grab it, fill the tanker up, and unload it. And there we unload the slurry into the BGA, and we'll know it's full when it stops unloading. And so yeah, so let's take a look at it and see how we're doing. Alright, and 75,000 liters is the max it will hold, so we got that filled up to the max. And that it wouldn't hold, we could put that back in the storage facility. And that's pretty much it, I think. Let's check, see. Yeah, because the cows don't have they're not overfilling with slurry. Pigs are good now. And everything we'll need to deal with, we'll deal with on the next business day. Alright, so we're done. We could go ahead and grab some digestate and move that over to the solid fertilizer production facility so that it's not sitting idle. Looks like we're done for today then. I think that's just everything that we want to do today. Alright, so we're going to take the tanker back to the main farm. And once we do that, that's going to take care of everything that we've done today. And we can move on to the next business day. to the shed until we need it again. Alright. One other thing I just thought of, I did want to kind of take care of a little bit right now. I know it's not empty, but we do want to drop some water off in the water tank. It's not on me, but it's still good to go ahead and keep it topped off so that you don't run out at the wrong time. I'm sure it could probably take a few loads. Actually, we filled it all the way up with 500,000 liters, so that's actually pretty cool. I thought it was lower than that, so that's actually pretty good. Just go ahead and fill the tanker back up. It just takes a little bit for it to fill up. And once it fills up, we'll go ahead and drop that off back on in our garage. Attach the dump trailer tipper back to the TLX. As you see at that point, it's just getting pretty dark now, so it's going to get harder and harder to see. So we're going to go ahead and move to the next day so we can have some daylight hours to do the things we need to do after we tend to our animals in our greenhouses at first, so we'll start there. So we're ready to move on to the next day. Alright, now we're on day 2 in April. So there's still a ton of things we want to have to get done today so we can get to our field operation. So let's go ahead and start the usual things. As always, the first thing is getting the chickens fed. And we have Barley to the rescue for that. Alright, so we're dropping off some barley. chickens and depositing the leftover barley back in the silo. And next up is we're going to grab our seeds for our greenhouses. And if you're new to the series, we're running modded greenhouses on this map to take additional inputs, in this case seeds and fertilizer and manure. And since those field triggers for the greenhouses are not visually marked, we're just kind of guessing where the triggers are at. And so what I try to do is hit the dump button right in front of each set of double doors, and most of the time when I do that, I hit the triggers every time. Sometimes I miss one or two of them, but if I don't get them on the first try, I'll come back and get them again on the following day. Okay, so we have the seeds in the greenhouses. And we can unload our leftover seed back into the seed silo. And next up, after we've done the seeds, we want to go and do the manure. And we need to grab the manure from my animal pen. Okay, next up is manure, so we're just going to grab some manure from our cows and pigs. take that back to the greenhouses and provide that additional input to the greenhouses so that they can continue to operate. And with the manure, we want to do the same thing that we did with the seeds. And just try to drop, since the triggers are not marked, all I can do is kind of guess where they're at. And again, I use the double doors in front of each greenhouse kind of as a guide on where I need to kind of hit the dump button at. Alright, so basically we're dumping manure in front of each of the double doors in it for each greenhouse. And let's check to see what they look like. Alright, and let's go up and check the greenhouses and see what we look like. Okay, one greenhouse, a couple of greenhouses are still deficient on the seeds. We also appears to have missed some of the manure ones. But we're consistently missing a couple on the seeds that are pretty low, so we got to go back and address those for sure. Manure looks mostly good. You can see right where we're at. Right here, that's one we missed. There's another one here. Alright. And normally I don't sweat that much, but we're gonna go back through again. those trigger points. Normally when I do this process doesn't take that long, but tonight it's a little bit sluggish. My apologies for that. I'm definitely going to get everything taken care of, just taking a little more time than usual. Yeah, if we check it again. Alright, so we're looking good there. We can go ahead and return, take this manure, leftover manure to the mini BGA, processing in the digest state. Then we're going to dump all the manure into the mini BGA. So we have that issue taken care of. And we'll just grab what remains from both of the bunkers. And we want to take all of the leftover manure, all of the manure that's in the bunkers for both the cows and the pigs, and just move that onto the mini BGA. Alright, we're going to take the TLX back to the main farm, grab a load of seeds, and go back to the greenhouses again to make sure that we refill the greenhouses that are showing that they're still not up to max capacity with the seeds. Alright, let's see how we did. Okay, that's much better. Now we need to hurry up and get moving today, because if we are going to add some fields to the family, then there's a lot of work we need to do to those fields. Especially if we want them to work properly with the precision farming add-on / expansion. Because even though the AI has planted crops on those fields, if I were to wait and use the crops as the AI has them planted, I'd still have to. The fields won't. Number one, the fields won't work properly with precision farming. It will negatively impact my environmental score, like a little bit of what you're already seeing with some of my fields, especially that oat field. And I don't, even though I did do that one properly, I still don't know why that one's not scoring like it should. Because if we go look at it now, I don't think that one ever gets above 70. And I don't know if that's an issue with the game or what, but it's because the nitrogen, the accounting for the nitrogen in that field is broken, basically. All right, so let's go. That's an issue with the precision farming in this map. Alright, go ahead and feed our pigs. Hello again. Unfortunately, welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. Bose831 Gaming doing a unscheduled live. This is a continuation of my Twitch live stream series on the ELM Creek farm, Farming Simulator 22. My apologies, having Twitch issues tonight. The stream disconnected about a quarter of the way through the show, so we're missing about the last 30 minutes. So I'm coming back on to do an additional overtime, 30 minutes to kind of, and I kind of piece this together before I upload it to YouTube. But this is Bose831 Gaming live on Twitch, and we're doing overtime tonight, additional 30-minute episode. And first of all, I got to catch you up to speed with where we're at in the process. We purchased additional fields. We purchased the fields 57. Excuse me, field 39, 36, and 37. What else have we done? We've taken care of our animals. We started the plowing on field 39. We've got that going now. I have the AI worker going there because we want to get this done and taken care of and knocked out. Because if we go to the crop calendar, we can see where we at. Let's go to the crop calendar. We're almost out of the planting window for oat, so we need to go ahead and get oat done today. If nothing else, we still have an additional month we can work on doing our corn, and we're planning on doing corn on fields 36 and 37. But we definitely need to get field 39 into shape today. So on this little bonus round here, what I'll do is we'll go ahead and finish that up, and we'll stay on until that work is done, and then we'll hop off after that. And that's kind of where I'm at. Unfortunately, just one of those wild and crazy nights where we're having Twitch issues. I've been thankful that we haven't. It's been a while since we've had those issues. We haven't been having the random drops like we did when I first started doing this live stream series, but we did experience it again tonight. Once I get to the point where I can get my capture card and we're producing these episodes live, but not live streaming through Twitch, which will, for whatever reasons, has some issues with random drops on Xbox. I won't run into this because I'll be recording the episodes myself, and then I'll be editing them myself before we get to that point. So when I'm doing my lives, it'll just be live with me, myself, and I can edit them and then upload them to YouTube, and we don't run into a lot of these particular problems. But we're gonna stay on here, and you just stay with me for a little bit tonight, and then I'll splice all this together when I edit the video before I upload it to YouTube, and we'll put it all together into one piece for upload to YouTube, so it'll be a little bit better at that point. But again, the stream dropped about an hour and 20 minutes into it, so we didn't get the entire experience. And my apologies for that. I did not realize that it had dropped, and just have to do better about keeping track of that. But I'm not always going to be 1,000% on it, because I'm actually, in the process of, doing things on the stream, so I don't always see the notification that the stream has dropped. Anywho, so we got the worker doing his plow bit. And is there anything I could be doing while he's doing that? Let's see. Go ahead, excuse me. We'll go ahead and get the horses squared away while that's happening. Alright. Only fill that with straw. And so you're going to be in in tune for a special episode tonight. Special extended episode, I should say. Right, a little straw there. I don't think they need any. Hey, let's take a peek. I don't think they need any oat. Not really. 10, 9, 35 out of what I think it holds 11, 12,000. So that's not really critical that it be topped off right now. But we can go ahead and handle some of the horse riding right now. Alright, back up, back up, back up. And actually, that's a good thing to do. Excuse me. Ooh, the voice went out way out there. That's a good thing to do while we're waiting on the worker to finish plowing. Because actually, where the stable is located, I can actually visually see him while we're riding the horses. So if you look over there in the background, you can actually see the worker and the tractor. Alright, so welcome to the overtime, people. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, as usual, the riding process is we ride up to the big board, turn around and head back to the stable. Alright, this horse is 100%, so this is not the one we need to be riding. Hey, we'll get it together. And like I say, it's kind of cool. You can see the tractor in the background as we're riding the horses, so we can actually have a much better idea of when we need to wrap it up. And as you can see, the worker's still missing spots like normal. No worries there. So I definitely have to come back and manually clean up the spots that the worker missed. right, 100%. And you're getting back into it. And like I was saying earlier, we are definitely going to go ahead and try to do as many things as we can and try to expand the operations. And one of our goals is to get towards doing a serial production chain, getting that going. Maybe even doing some woodwork now that we got a mod where we can produce wood without having to actually do some of the lumberjacking that's involved. Even though I do enjoy lumberjacking in this game, woodwork in this game. It's definitely improved from the experience that I talked about earlier when the game first came out. They've got a lot of the bugs worked out, and actually logging is much better now and more in line with what the experience was, and actually I'd even argue a bit improved from in a lot of areas from Farming Simulator 19. This map is just not a big logging map, even though it has elements where you can do logging on it. There's not a lot of logging areas on this map, but there is enough where you can actually do some logging though. Okay. It'll just be easier just with the mod that's out to just go ahead and do, if we're gonna mess around with doing woodwork, to go ahead and produce the logs that way through the production chain. Alright, there we got the horses 100%, so we can get them all cleaned up and we'll be ready to go there. And if you look in the background, our workers should be just about done plowing so that we can go ahead and do the stones. Alright, let's double check our horses. You can see the reproduction meter is only at 18%, so we got quite a ways to go before we can have any offspring in our stables. Alright, the workers just about got the last section of the field done here, and we can touch up the spots that he missed, get the stone picker going. Of course, this is just the first of 3 fields that we need to plow, and lime, and seed. But the emphasis is being on getting this field right here taken care of first, then we can address the other 2, because Number one, they take a different planter. Number two, we have additional days in which to work with those fields, but this field right here, because it's this, we want this field to be oat, it needs to be done today, finished today. And that will be our focus for the remainder of tonight's episode, is finishing up this field. And remember, this is our overtime tonight. And well, I should say this morning, if you're in the same time zone that I'm in. But this is kind of late night with Bose 831 Gaming, mostly due to Twitch issues. The stream dropped once again. We haven't had that problem in quite some time, in quite a few episodes, but it decided to show up this morning. Okay, so now we need to go to our stone pickers, and for this job we're going to use a little modded. This is going to be our first experience with the modded stone picker that has a higher capacity. We're going to go ahead and lease that bad boy from the shop. We're going to drop a plow off at home and go pick that up from the stone picker up from the shop. Well, actually, we want to leave the plow here because we're still going to need it for the cornfields. I'm getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. Like I said, our focus is to work on getting this field done and planted and everything that we need to do here, and then we'll address the other two down here. These two smaller fields that we're just going to throw, or should we just do grass with these because they're so small? Is it worth doing, Connor? All right, but we'll figure that out shortly. But maybe we'll just do grass on those two. That'll be so much easier. But we do need, but then that kind of defeats the purpose because we do need another cornfield. We'll stick with the plan and do the corn on them. Right? But anywho, let's go grab the stone picker. Yeah, we just have the 3 small cornfields for now, but if we need to reevaluate that strategy, we can do so at any time because we can always plow it over and just put down grass at any time, so no big deal there. Anyway, the next order of business is you want to go ahead and run the stone picker over the field. Then we want to get down. Then the next thing we want to do is do the lime. And once we do the lime, then the issue we have with the lime production will resolve itself because we'll create space in the silo for the lime because we'll be using the lime, so we'll clear up space in that silo so that it won't be filled to the max anymore. So that production chain won't have any more problems, at least for a little while, because we're about to run through all the lime that we have. And we just want to make sure that with this overtime that we don't run over what it would have been our normal run time. So still want to keep these episodes about 2 hours each. And really, even with that time frame, depending on what I'm doing, sometimes it's easy to fill those 2 hours. Sometimes it's a struggle. It just depends. And my apologies for the lower energy today. When I am a human being, and sometimes some days you have it and some days you don't. I try to keep on top of it and keep myself, at the max energy levels I need to do the episode. But sometimes it's just going to vary depending on what I have going on in real life at the time that I'm doing the episode. Let's see. I'm going to turn on the stone picker. This is another one I kind of need to make sure we kind of babysit him at first, because I don't want him to accidentally run through a field that I already have planted and growing. And that's an issue that you have when you have fields that are this tight together. Alrighty, I already see an issue. We're gonna kill the worker for a second, circle back around, and I'm gonna have to manually do the edges, but otherwise he's gonna miss spots on the edges because he's already missing areas here, and I don't want to come back and be dealing with stones still showing up on a field that I've already planted. That drives me insane when I see that. So we're gonna deal with that now. So, okay, why is the tractor doing all of that stuff? I don't know. Okay. I don't know why the tractor is behaving strangely, like it has more weight on it than it's able to pull, so it's kind of jerking around and behaving where it's kind of difficult to steer. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's an issue with the mod. Has to be, because I haven't experienced that before when I'm pulling anything else. So Alright. Now the stone picker is maxed out, so we gotta bring the TLX around. Damn. Okay, and looks like we're reaching a point where we're gonna have to go ahead and wrap up this overtime. But you get the idea where we're going and what we're trying to do here, and we need to get this all knocked out. And we'll continue this on our next scheduled live episode. We'll continue with the lime and the seeding, and we need to get this field limed and seeded on day 2 in April so that it could be done and on schedule. And the other fields we'll try to get them too. But the priority is to get this field done, and we could get the corn on the other 2 fields planted as time permits. But the priority is to get the lime and seeds down on this field on before the day is done on day 2 in April. But as we always say, if you're not having fun doing what you do, then what are you doing? This is Bose831 Gaming. Be sure to follow me on all the major social media platforms. I'm Bose831 Gaming on all of them. Bose831 Gaming on Twitter. Bose831 Gaming on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. All of the major social media platforms is where you'll find me as Bose831 Gaming. And I will see you later. I'll catch you on the struggle with the words tonight as well. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Thanks for tuning in. And again, I appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you like, Let me know what you don't like, and we'll grow and learn and get better together. I'll catch you on the flip side. Good night, everyone.